really annoys me is the lesbians and gays. That really gets up my back.
Why?
Because I'm totally against it. The way that they're getting the freedom and talking, it really annoys me.
Why?
Because I just totally disagree with it. You know, majority of people are normal, but when you get these...
Henry, hang on. What is normal?
Well, normal male and female is normal, and then you get these people coming in and spreading diseases, etc.
Oh, now that is a stupid thing to say. So you're going to blame the entire gay community, male and female, for spreading diseases, are you?
Well, no, I mean, that wasn't the subject I was going to talk about, actually, but I was listening earlier, and something is not natural, you know.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do, yeah.
How old are they?
5.
Yeah, and if that child, male, female, whatever, grows up to be gay, what will you do?
I'd disown them.
Oh, what a caring, loving father you are.
The Alex Hall phone 01274 740 110. On the Pulse.
And like the man said, this is indeed the phone-in on the Pulse. I'm Alex Hall. We're on 01274 740 110. It's your chance to get it off your chest, to air any views you might have concerning what's going on in your town or on a larger scale in the world. Your chance to talk about anything that matters to you. We've been talking to Diane about how important or otherwise it is to lose your virginity. Her grandmother said to her that it would be as well to hang on to it till your wedding night, and if not, you'd have nothing to look forward to. Is that all you get married for then? Just to have a quick bonk on your wedding night? I thought more than that, really. But still, asking the question, is it that important anymore? Are you surrounded by peer pressure to make you want to lose it? Also been talking about battered wives and alcoholism. Give us a call if you have any thoughts on any of those subjects. And Flo's next. Hello, Flo.
Hello, Alex. It's just a quickie. Have you seen it I think it's in tonight's paper or last night, where a lady found a condom in a tin of tuna?
Yeah.
What a treat, eh? I hope
don't
they
think
enjoyed
so.
it for the tea.
Well, the poor man apparently has got to have an HIV test.
Has he?
Yes, he's had an HIV test.
Oh, poor. Oh, I think it's awful.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing, and it just makes you watch out whenever you open your tin. Flo, we're going to have to move on.
I'll call you another night, though.
All right, you take care of yourself now.
You as well. I'm enjoying life.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Take care now. Bye-bye, Flo. Bye. Right, Laura, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I'm just ringing up, actually, because I'm frightened, really.
What of?
Well, my perpetrators are going to be out of prison very, very shortly.
Sorry, what crime was this?
Child abuse.
Right, okay.
A few months ago, I was told that they was going to get out on weekend release.
Uh-huh.
Now I moved from my house, and now I'm living somewhere else. But that doesn't stop the abusers trying to find me. They've threatened my life and everything, and I'm frightened.
Right. How long ago did this person go to prison?
2.5 years ago. I'm so frightened. I just don't know what to do. We thought about moving, but I don't see why we should.
I don't see why you should either.
I was about 12 and a half, and I thought there was friends, and they abused me, and they said that I haven't to tell on anybody or they'd hurt me. The second day when I went up, because I still thought they were friends, I thought it wouldn't happen again. He made me get undressed. He really hurt me.
2 police officers, there was CID, they called at my home and said that could we go and get Hazel, as the News of the World had obtained videos which showed clearly Hazel having sexual intercourse with said parties. This is how it actually all come to light in the end, when we all found out about it and the national newspaper told the story. there'd been significantly more sexual abuse going on with Valvona and Ideal, lesbian acts and other different sexual acts, they would drop her off outside or near to her home in walking distance so that she'd walk up home as if nothing had happened, and that went on all the time.
I wanted to tell. He just threatened me so much and hurt me so badly. Some days I really wanted to tell, but I just couldn't. It just won't come out. The words just won't come out.
Now we're just stuck with the fact that Valvona and Ideal are due to be sort of paroled in December. It's a terrifying thought.
Have you talked to the police about this person coming out?
No, they're no good.
Well, I really do think you need to get some help, and I think you need to speak to a woman police officer. It's worth a try, isn't it? Anything's worth a try.
Yeah.
Will you keep in touch?
I will.
All right, thank you for calling.
You.
Good luck, Laura. Bye. This is The Pulse at 3 minutes to midnight.
On the road in 95, the biggest live act you'll see all year, and it's in town right now. The Sanderson Ford Roadshow. The Sanderson Ford Roadshow is in town with a bigger than 3,000 used cars from all over the country.
Who's next?
Mick.
Hello, Alex.
Hello, Mick.
I have a problem, and I don't know how to cope with it.
Right.
My daughter's, I think she's plucking up courage to ask me if it's alright if she goes on the pill.
Right. How old is she?
She's going on 15.
Right.
She asked this friend of mine if she'd take her, either to see the doctor or the family planning, and she was wondering how to approach me about it.
Right, okay.
I think she's possibly taking a sensible attitude towards it.
She is.
But I don't agree with it. But I don't know how to cope with it when she actually does tell me.
I certainly think she is being sensible. If there is... does she have a boyfriend?
Yes, and I'm wondering whether he's pressuring her into it or not.
Sex is evil, evil is a sin, sins are forgiven, so get stuck in. I wrote that. My friend told me it. And we just enjoy writing on walls. But now I want my bedroom decorating now. But my dad's told me that. No, you're not having it done because you'll just write all over it again. I said, oh, I promise I won't. He goes, you will, can't afford it anyway. Every time I get a new boyfriend, it goes on well. It's a big mistake though. And every time I go out with someone, I come straight in here and write all over it well. Starts in my bedroom. Mine's got a little bit of writing on it, but not as much as this. That's all we ever do, writing here. There's writing on dirt pictures as well.
I've discussed them going on the pill, but I've never discussed sex with them or anything like that. I suppose I should. Well, I should do, and I know I should do, but it's easy to say that, but it's hard to do once it comes down to sitting down and talking to them. As I say, I found they probably wouldn't be embarrassed by it, but I would be a lot.
Can you use some at me? I make the lad use some at. She don't need her. Shut up. We should keep her mouth shut there. Well, she hasn't had a chance yet because Lee's locked up. She wants it first time to be with Lee. Don't you? She's got a big mouth there. We're only going out with him 2 weeks before he got locked up. He's in prison. In Wetherby prison. I met him in November. Got off with him in November and he got locked up in November.
You may have an experience you want to talk about tonight. Do call us. Have you lived with violence? Perhaps you're a man who's committed violence in the past. If you are, is there any hope? I mean, we've got helpline numbers of an organisation that is there to help men who have been actually the perpetrators of violence themselves. So clearly there is hope for them. There is work, there is counselling can be done to help them get rid of those elements of their personality. But if you're a fella who's been there, go on, be brave, call us and talk about it. And on the pulse now is Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hello. I was 100% faithful to my wife till she went out and did it to me. Right? Well, actually, what did I came back from a darts match early and caught my wife in bed with my best mate. Right. Right, so that sort of like kind of gets to you, doesn't it?
I guess.
Yeah, you know. But since then, every female that I've got a chance, I have done it.
Why?
Why? To get revenge.
Well, why is that getting revenge?
Purely revenge.
Hang on. What? Excuse me, I've missed a bit. Why is that getting revenge?
Because I believed that your wife was sacred. You know, and I have now done it with a few wives.
You've done it with other men's wives?
Yeah, purposely, just to get my own back.
So you're quite happy to risk putting other people's marriages at stake because yours was affected?
Because somebody did to me.
But that's evil, Kevin. Do they know they're being used in this way?
Well, as soon as I finish, they do. As soon as it's the end of the story, yes, they do.
Well, why? I mean, how can you use people like that?
Because I was used, wasn't I?
But that's pathetic. You're absolutely pathetic.
But that's,
you know, it's like a 3-year-old saying, oh, you've done that to me, so I'm going to go and do this to you. Except you're toying with people's lives. You could break marriages. You could cause kids to be brought up without their parents. You're messing with something that's so serious.
Phone 01274 740 110.
On the pulse.
Colin.
Yeah. Hello, Alex.
Hi.
Yeah. How are you? All right?
I'm all right. Are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
Good.
I'm shaking like a leaf here because of what I want to talk about. You know, about domestic violence.
Yeah.
Just that you said earlier on, you know, you want people to ring up, you know, men to ring up like that's being violent towards their wives. So that's basically why I've rung up, you know.
So what actually happened, Colin?
If I'd have hit as hard as I could have done, I would have knocked her out, you know. I used to sort of get angry with her and maybe sort of grab her hair, you know, or punch her on the arm. I only ever once hit her in the face, and we'd been married about 6 years, and that was just something on spur at the moment. I just got up and hit her, you know, before I realised what I'd done, you know. I never used to beat her up or out, you know, and I didn't want my son to pick all this up as he got older. Oh, your dad this and your dad that and your dad other, you know. And I'm sort of, I've sort of thought, well, my son, he's 9-year-old now. Well, he'll be 10 this year in August. And I sort of think he's better off not seeing me, you know, until such time when his character is formed, you know. And I'm not going to be able to influence him, you know, either by my actions or by what he's heard that I've done, you know. I hope he never ends up like me. So I wanted to bring my kids up how I haven't been brought up, but yeah, I didn't know how to do it properly, and I don't think I got a chance to do it properly either, you know.
My son, when he learned to walk kicking a football, and he was good at football, and last time I had any contact with him, he was sort of 3, nearly 4-year-old, and he played football and cricket better than what I ever could. And yet, the memory that sticks out most about him is I smacked him one night, and he just turned and said, I thought you were my friend, Daddy, you know. And that makes me want to cry. Whenever I think of that, you know, it makes me want, I'm ashamed of myself.
Look, I don't know how you feel about this, but there's an organisation in Wakefield, right?
Yeah.
And it's for men who have committed violence.
Yeah.
Right? And how it's sort of partly to do with learning to control your anger and talking about why you did it and helping you come to terms with what's happened.
Yeah.
If I give you the number, would you give them a ring?
Well, I haven't got a pen on me. I'm in a call box, you know.
All right, okay. Well, listen, I will get this number to you somehow or other.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Colin. Okay, well, I don't know how you feel, but I think for me, it was very interesting to hear from Colin there about, you know, what goes on in the mind of somebody who does do that. Because, you know, we all say, oh, by God, if he raised his hand to me, I'd be off there. That would be the end of it. But it's just interesting to hear what happened to him and his story. Let's hear from you. We're on 01274 740 110. You're listening to The Pulse. Right, Julie is next on The Pulse. Hello, Julie.
Pardon?
Is that Julie?
Yes, it is.
Hello, Julie.
Hi.
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 Yes, hi again.
Well, people have been ringing me for the past 3 or 24 hours, sort of thing. What are we calling for? Hello?
Sorry, Julie, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, who are you?
This is the Pulse, phone in.
Oh, right. I forgot what I called in about now.
Hang on, I'll find out.
Okay.
Roll, what did this lady call in about? She's forgotten. Domestic violence, apparently, Julie.
Oh, right. What was the argument about?
Well, we weren't having any argument. We were just loosely discussing the subject, yeah.
Right. So what was the query?
There wasn't actually one. You called us to talk about domestic violence. Have you been a victim of it?
Oh, yes, I have.
Right, how did it happen?
Well, I got beaten up.
And why did you get beaten up?
Probably because I said the wrong thing.
Keeping a diary because about a few years later I can look back and see how much fun I had and stuff, and then but I don't like it when my dad reads it all the time, so I have to hide it. I write stuff like I'm missing Greenie and Bilbo and Gareth came over today and stuff, but it's just fun keeping a diary.
I've read a little bit of it but not much, and I don't think she wants me to either. I'd like to get hold of it, have a proper look through it. No, I don't think. No, I wouldn't.
Stuff like went with boyfriend, or stuff like took an acid tab, or had a smoke and stuff like that. I don't like him reading that.
A lot of lassies write diaries. I thought, well, she might have written where she's been going, and it might give me an idea where to start and look for her. And that's the only time I've looked, and then I only looked at sort of like basically 2 entries in it. But having said that, that caused a bit of arguments, did that? A bit of trouble looking at it.
Last time I found him reading it, I went mad with him. I told him that I didn't want him reading it again. And he just says, well, I needed to know where you were. Like when I run away a couple of weeks ago, he was reading he told Trin to find my diary so I know where I were. And I said, it's a good job you didn't read my diary. He says, why? I says, because it's not to do with you, my diary.
Today I feel really unwell and dirty. I went in the bath twice but still didn't feel any better.
It took 18 months of counselling for Hazel to get to the stage where she actually could confide and say what all the abuse that she had been through. And she actually wrote a diary, which I was sort of given once, maybe every month, and said, Mum, just read this, and then you'll understand more. And reading that diary was really distressing. It was really heartbreaking.
I just want to know why I'm like I am and why I'm feeling dirty all the time. All I can visualise is him coming towards me with a gun, and it seems so realistic. I just stay awake night after night, making every noise that I hear in the flat. It gets me so frightened. At one stage I was sleeping with a knife under my pillow because I was so frightened. Half the time I wake up feeling sick. Quite often I throw up when I wake up because I feel so sick, having bad nightmares, just can't sleep. So I'm forcing myself to stay awake. So I'm that drained that I just can't do anything. I can't be bothered to make anything to eat. I can't be bothered to do anything. Half the time I can't be bothered to get up, because sometimes I feel as though there's no point getting up. I wish I'd die in my sleep.
Look, I don't know how you feel about this, Colin, But there's an organisation in Wakefield, right?
Yeah.
And it's for men who have committed violence.
Yeah.
If I give you the number, would you give them a ring? Would you give them a ring? Ring.
I've explained how things go to Colin and suggested that, you know, he may not feel able to sort of contribute, if you like, tonight.
When I was married and I had kids of my own, I said, I'm not going to bring him up in the same environment that I was brought up in, but it creeps up on you, you know. It's like a vicious circle.
It got to the stage where my 10-month-old daughter got caught up in the violence.
I didn't trust my own parents, you know. I don't trust my family, I don't trust my ex-wife when I'm married to, I don't trust anybody at all, you know.
I started hitting my partner.
When I was younger, my dad used to take us out and he used to humiliate us on purpose, make you feel embarrassed about everything, you know. I was scared of going on buses upstairs when I was a kid, I don't know why, but my dad used to laugh at me, you know. He'd carry my younger sister upstairs on the bus, and when I was terrified, he used to laugh, you know. Things like that, I just never felt safe anywhere at all, you know.
Oh, really?
Most of them guys that were there didn't seem to be, they just seemed to be there somewhere to go, you know. Plus, like, the one that was sat nearest to me, he just seemed to be talking a lot of crap, you know.
I pinned her to a wall.
You pinned her to a wall to tell her how much you loved her?
Well, yeah, I mean...
It started about 25 to 8, and I thought, after about 5 or 10 minutes, I thought, what am I doing here? My 3-year prison sentence went faster than this.
I mean, I had to.
Since I've been there, I don't know whether or not I'm going to benefit from it, you know what I mean? I can't see yet exactly how I'm going to benefit, you know, because I don't know if I can relate proper to other people out there or not, you know.
All the outcomes. I love you, and why can't you see it?
I can think, well, yeah, I've been denied this and that and other from my parents, you know, affection and encouragement and everything else, but at the end of the day, I've still got the problems that I've got, you know, and I still don't know what to do about them, you know. So, it's like a vicious circle.
And Flo. Hello, Flo.
Hello, Alex. Nice to have you back, love.
Thank you. It's nice to be back as well.
I'm sure it is. Have you had any wasps on your holidays?
No, I haven't seen a wasp. In fact, I haven't seen any insect. I saw a couple of ants one day.
Oh.
But that was in a, you know, it was in a garden, so
Believe
it wasn't...
me, you, Alex, I think I've had another of my 9 lives.
Oh, heck.
With wasps. Last week, I was sitting in my garden having afternoon tea, and I had my cup on the little table, and I just picked the cup up, took a big gulp, and believe me, you, I had the biggest wasp in my mouth.
Oh!
Oh, and I just opened my mouth and spat out right quickly, and there it was wriggling on the floor. Oh, I came indoors and washed my mouth out with some disinfectant. It was horrible.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Boy and Barrel and our sing-along. And I hope you're all going to have a good night and get plenty of up into you because it's good for trade. Because I am having a few barley wines to get me going. But not too many, I don't want to fall off floor. Okie do. Right. Why is my heart so light? Why are the stars so bright? Why is the sky so blue? Since the hour I met you. I live for music and singing and dancing. It's that got me out. I didn't go out for a long, long time after my hubby died. My son used to say to me, if you don't soon go out of here, you'll be in a box. So I got my glad rags on. Smiling so tenderly, he feels the same old story to all eternity. Lord, this is my song. Here is a song of
I've been receiving counselling from the local drug and alcohol abuse centre, and it doesn't seem to be doing much good. And I just wondered if there was anything you could advise, or any of your listeners, because I'm one of these drinkers that drinks a lot socially, but enjoys it as well. And if I didn't, I'm scared that I wouldn't have a social life, but I enjoy it.
Okay, if it doesn't
It's doing
affect
me
you and you
harm.
enjoy it, why are you getting counselling then?
It's doing me harm.
Physically?
Yes.
In what way?
In the way of cirrhosis of the liver.
Right.
At 25, that is something to be worried about.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
If only you sounded more worried. How much are you drinking a day?
Well, it depends. In excess of a couple of bottles of vodka some days, or when I'm on lager, that sort of thing, you know.
How much lager?
15 to 20 pints. Well, today I've been drinking Newcastle Brown, and I've just sort of done, I think I'm on my second crate now.
I'm drinking Newcastle Brown because the doctor recommended it. I don't like it, so he thought I'd drink less. But after about a month on it, I'm getting used to it. I quite like it now, so maybe it hasn't worked. I had ambitions. Yeah, I got 6 O-levels and 3 A-levels from school. I applied to join the RAF when I was, 17, 18. Which didn't work out due to the drinking, to be honest. I suppose that was my one ambition, and after that I thought, well, what is the left? Just enjoy yourself, sort of thing. When I was young, people, the idea of your life would be to go out to work, get married, have children, buy an house, buy a car, you know, and that sort of thing. Just the simple things. And nowadays it seems, unless you're very lucky, most of that's beyond you. So somewhere along the line you've got to stop thinking about that and just do whatever you do to live, just to get through day to day. Well, I've been on the sick unable to work since about 1991. When I first went on the sick, it was for many reasons, but one of them happened to be the fact that I didn't get out of the bed for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm depressive, so they can't cure it, although I've had the tablets and everything else. As long as you're drunk, you don't feel it, so what's the point? I get slightly more money than everybody else does, so I consider myself slightly lucky to be on the sick. I'm a night person. The daytime's a threatening thing.
Right, Camille, I think, is next. Hello, Camille.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I was calling about Jim.
Yeah.
If he's drinking that amount of beer and vodka, he's on his way.
I think he'd be lucky if he gets another 15 years at that rate.
Yeah. The reason I say that is because I did that. And I did drink an awful lot. And I'm only giving the warning because, you know, now I can't walk.
And how old are you?
I'm 33.
So did you go for any help when you realised it was getting out of control?
I had liver function tests, everything. And they've given me until I'm 40. And it's one hell of a shock when somebody says that to you.
So they say you've just got 7 years?
Yeah.
Even though you've stopped drinking?
Yep.
There's no hope?
Nope.
Right. The toes don't work, right? So the feet don't work, so they're more or less, you know, naff. I can balance on them, but I can't actually use them. I mean, they don't look too, I don't think they look too ugly, but, you know. And, you know, it's just a waiting time, really. You know, I just have to, I have to rely on everybody else, which makes me feel really guilty, because it's my fault in the first place.
how do you feel knowing?
Well, you've just got to be brave, haven't you?
God. Yeah, I guess you have.
I'm ringing about the young lad that's got a drink problem.
Yeah, hasn't he just?
2 points. One, if he's not been working for so long, how can he drink 20 pints a day? Where does he get his money from? Which I sort of can't.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, where does he get? But the thing is, I mean, you know, I'm sure you know, if people are alcoholics, they will find the money from somewhere.
But that's not the main reason why I rang.
I'm on 6, so I get quite a bit extra. I get nearly 70. There's no way I can live on that. You know, you can't really afford to eat off it once you've got your bills to pay and everything else. I don't really know many people that do play it by the book. You just can't. You know, most are at least claiming and working part-time or something like that. Just for the simple fact they've got no choice. Oh, the scams are anything from saying you've lost your money and getting down to get some more to, you know, claiming in false names and that sort of thing. The average would be 3 or 4 claims, which would up your benefit from, you know, £40 a week or so to 3 or 4 times that. It's impossible to get caught. Well, so it seems. I've never heard of anybody getting caught. I've heard lots of people that do it, but never anybody actually getting caught doing it. People find an empty flat and then correspond that with a name that did live there, or another name that could claim benefit, and then claim in that name and wait for the post to come through the address that they've sent it to, and hopefully you get payment.
Hello, Jimmy.
Do you know, I've been listening to this, lad, and it's fair upset me. It has, honestly, love. It's really upset me.
What's upset you, Jimmy?
Well, all this drinking and all this, you know, it has upset me.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Pardon?
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not a soft bloke. And there's me, totally blind. I never go out nowhere. I don't drink, I don't smoke. And there's people there throwing their lives away just for drink. I don't know. Oh, God, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I didn't want to ring about.
I'm just going for a bottle of wine, darling. I don't spend all that time on myself. I haven't time to do, but I like to look nice when I'm going out. And I mean, I put this on in 10 minutes, brush my hair and put a bit of cream on, a bit of tutti frutti there, and put a different rig out on every time I go. I must do it. I won't be able to wear them all before I pass this way. I love clothes, though.
Did you like your pink fan? Oh, no, I haven't seen your pink fan. Oh, we borrowed feathers. No.
I like being chatted up, but that's all. That's all. A month ago, I did get chatted up. Oh, he bought me a drink. He looked a nice, quiet chap, I thought. And I just said, oh, that night my driver wasn't in that night. I said that when it got to 11:15, I'll have to go for my bus. The chap that brings me home isn't in tonight. He's gone somewhere with his wife or something. He says, oh, where do you live? I said, oh, Edgerton. He says, oh, I live up that way. I'll give you a lift in my car. I said, oh, I don't go with strangers. I don't know you. So you'll be all right. So I did get in his car and brought me home. Went into the kitchen, like a coffee. No, he wasn't bothered about a coffee. All he wanted was a kiss and a cuddle. Of course, that's all he did have was a kiss and a cuddle. So, will you be down there next week? I said yes. So I told you a decent chap, no hanky-panky. So the following week, brought me home again.
course, he wanted hanky-panky, didn't he? So I told him to get on his bike. And I told Alex that on the air. She says, Flo, you didn't want hanky-panky. I said, no, I'd rather have peace of mind than sex, Alex.
Yes, please come along. Please sit down. How are you?
Hi.
I understand from your dad's letter that you want to go on pill. Is that right? Have you used pill before?
No, never.
And have you made love, or you're going to make love? Or you're
Already made love.
Okay. If you're making love, are you taking any precaution?
No.
No. So there is a chance of you getting pregnant, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't want to get pregnant.
You don't want to get pregnant. Do you want to go home and think over it and then come back, or you want to decide now? Choice is yours.
I want to go on it.
You want to go on it, fine.
Pills for women. Oh no. Who has had his haircut? I've been at doctors. And doctors were just explaining things about the pill, and he put me on it. Right, and he explained all different kind of pills. So I just chose one of them. I don't know which one I chose. Just chose one of them. But he says I could go on 3 different ones. And one was an injection, 3 months. And then when I've opened the 3rd packet of them, I've got to make an appointment again to go see the nurse for some tests or something. And one of those, I don't know what they're called, smear test or whatever it is.
Not what's it. If it's what you want to do, then fair enough.
You know, I'm going on it in case, you know, I get like a boyfriend and, you know, he wants me to start sleeping with him, then I won't get pregnant.
Yeah, but you go out with somebody, you shouldn't even be, to start with, you shouldn't even be thinking that way. It should be something you should be thinking about if and when it becomes a serious relationship and not before. Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, doctor says I will be insensible.
Well, it is sensible. I'm not saying it isn't.
Sarah, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I think it was Monday night. Did you have a call about eating?
Yes, yes.
I'm really struggling at the moment with eating and not eating. And
what kind of help are you getting?
I'm not getting any because I'm just really ashamed. But I mean, it's like I hadn't eaten for 2 weeks until Tuesday, and on Tuesday I had the most horrendous food binge ever.
Look, I want you to realise what you're saying to me. I want you to realise that this is a problem and it does need help.
Once I've made the decision to go, I'd drive to the shop in a trance. I wouldn't be in control at all. So just grab everything, and you know, I go for the same things every time, but I find it difficult to choose between that flavour and that flavour. I feel really panicky and really paranoid. People are looking at what's in my trolley and looking at me and looking at what I'm buying. has to be packed in a certain bag. Most of the stuff will go in the boot, but there'll usually be one bag at the side of me in the car that will get it eaten on the way home. Once it's all unpacked, I open everything up and then I cut it into sort of equal-sized portions. Everything has to be an equal-sized portion. I get a bin bag and all the packaging goes in the bin bag on the floor, and then I sit on the floor and eat everything. I start off with something dark coloured like blackcurrant or sometimes chocolate, and then I'll have ice cream, yoghurt, that sort of stuff. Then I'll have some more chocolatey stuff, and then I usually finish with ice cream. It has to be half an hour from beginning to end, because after half an hour I feel like that I'll start digesting. That's digesting the first things I ate, which wouldn't be acceptable. So at the end of half an hour, I'll have colour coded everything, so I know that when I'm vomiting, I know when I've got to the first thing that I ate, and as long as it's not longer than half an hour, that usually that's what happens. I phoned the number that Alex gave me, and they said, well, we think you need some help with this. It's just really scary, because they're going to make me eat regularly, and I just can't face that.
The Alex Hall phone in. Now, have your say.
We spoke this morning on the telephone, and you said you got some concerns about Terry coming out, so I'm here this afternoon to see what your concerns are.
Well, we've got plenty of concerns, obviously. I mean, we're getting more worried. We know what a dangerous man he is, and therefore we're very frightened.
Well, look, from a point of view of being at home and protection at home, we can offer you a mobile telephone. It's called a Vodafone SafeLink. So if you had any problems at home, you've got direct contact with the police, who will obviously be aware that you've got the phone, and they'll come straight round.
Would we be able to carry it outside?
Not the ones that we currently have, no. They're too bulky, really. They're designed for you at home.
What sort of protection would we get for outside purposes?
Well, that is very difficult, because obviously we can't have a police officer with you all the time. We can give you crime prevention advice on when you're out and about on your own, and not to be out and about on your own, but to go out.
Does that mean we've got to stay in for the rest of us lives?
No.
We've done no wrong.
No.
People don't think he's a violent man, but I know what he did to me. I know that he shot at me. I know he set his dogs on me. If that's not violent, I don't know what is. And I'm frightened of going out my door, and I shouldn't have to be.
When he comes out, hopefully, if he's on licence, they'll be able to regulate where he lives.
Yeah, but can you keep a tab on him 24 hours a day?
Well, I don't think they can keep a tab on him, no, but that would be the probation service who are responsible for where and when he lives and where he
Yeah,
can
they see
go.
him once a week. He's been a good boy. He's allowed out. He's not going to abuse any more kids. But that's not true.
I can't answer that one, Hazel, can I? We'll have to wait. Unfortunately, it is a sorry state, but we'd have to wait and see what happened when he came out. I mean, if things got really bad, we have a facility where we can assist you with rehousing.
Yeah, but why should we have to move? You can run all the time, but you can't hide, Graham.
No.
And why should we move? We haven't done no wrong here. We're the victims. The reality of it all is that Hazel now has to live with it for the rest of her life. She hasn't had a childhood. Everything good has been taken away from her. How can anybody give her that back?
It scares me to death of being in the same room as the man without somebody else being with me. I mean, I should be going out night clubbing and that, but it's made me so feeling frightened and terrified, not sleeping at night, that I just can't do anything anymore.
and this is Joseph.
Hello, Joseph.
No, you're Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Alex.
Right, Alex.
Okay.
I'm a bit nervous, you see. It's about this woman who's been coming on strong with me, and she works for me. It's the secretary, apparently. I've just been married just last 3 weeks. I got married 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they see, she's nice and everything, but she's very ugly. And everyone at work likes this secretary. She keeps on...
Hang on, who's very ugly?
My wife.
Well, that's a lovely thing to say. You've been married 3 weeks and you think your wife's very ugly.
Well, she's got a very good personality, you see. And the thing, I love her and everything, yeah, but the secretary...
But if you love her that much, you shouldn't even think for a second that she's very ugly.
Well, looks like I've got everything to do with it. The thing is... What?
Well, you, honestly. I mean, when you're in love with somebody, you think they're beautiful.
The secretary at work keeps on coming on strong to me.
And what are you going to do?
That's what I'm in at work. I mean, I'm stuck now. I don't know if I'm coming or going.
So, what are you saying to me? Are you saying to me that you should go and have it off with the secretary because she's better looking than your wife?
No, I'm not saying have an affair. I think I should call the marriage off and then see how it... Do you think I should see how it goes with this?
You think you should call... Joseph, are you half-witted, lad? What are you saying to me?
If I hadn't played the old rugged cross and the Lord is my shepherd before Alex comes on, I get up and play it, call in the bathroom, make a cup of tea, and I play it every night, those two tunes, for my late husband, because I had them for his funeral, and I always remember saying to the organ teacher, I want to learn these two tunes. I know it's sad, but I had it for my husband's funeral, and I want to learn them so that I can play them without music. And which I do every night, I never miss.
First of all, I have something to say which is very sad, and it's not very often we hear of this sort of thing, and I do just think it's worth mentioning at this time. You may well have heard of a young woman called Camille who called us a few times, and I'm sorry to say that Camille died last Friday morning in the early hours of the morning. She leaves behind a fiancé, a son and a family who are devastated at her loss. She was only 32. She did ring us from time to time, and I know a lot of people would be concerned for her, so I do feel it's important that I should mention that. Camille's family, Camille's fiancé, Paul, has asked me to mention the details of her funeral, and in fact she is being received into St. Peter Paul's Cathedral.
I suppose it got to the stage where I'm not worried about it killing me. The only thing that does worry me is maybe it causes a bit of pain. They say it's a long, slow death once you get there, which is what my counsellor's been trying to tell me. But what I try to point out to him is you can't say that. You can't see your own liver rotting away. However much you try, there's no way you can do that. It's just a very strange sensation to think that people say, maybe you're killing yourself. I think, well, I feel fine. I'm happy.
Right, we move on now to Sheila. Hello, Sheila.
Hello.
Hello.
I've spoken to you before about my lesbian twin daughter. So tonight I wanted to have a few words about this Henry.
Right.
Right, I've never known such a narrow-minded, bigoted twat, quite honestly, as Henry.
Now, don't mince words.
I'm not. I cannot believe this guy. I cannot believe this guy. Well, I can, actually. But he was so sort of bombastic about it. I mean, for God's sake, there are heterosexual practices that probably make gay people sick. The point is, you get on with it. It's each to their own, and as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, then that is your practice.